I'm Ben Kleckley, Director of Strategy here at PlatinumBlack. I'm here today having a conversation with Lisa Stauber, Integrated Marketing Manager, about a company called Path Robotics. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Ben. Path Robotics is a company that's defining physical AI as a new industry serving the welding business.
They use AI together with the physical equipment to build drawings and movement types that then go into welding for large equipment, construction equipment, shipbuilding, utility poles, things that are on a large scale.
We've never worked with Path Robotics, and all of our thoughts today reflect our professional opinions on the work that they are doing. I think the first way Path Robotics is positioning itself in the market is by defining its market as physical AI. When people think of AI, they think of this cloud computer or things in a data center, and they've redefined it as a physical AI beyond robotics.
Yeah, I agree with that, Lisa. I think there's also a positioning of Path Robotics as a provider of a service rather than provider of equipment. When you think about robotics, typically you're thinking about the sale of a product to a business and then them using that product, having to do a program and doing all on their own. But I see them in this robot as a service space.
Yeah, I think that's really smart too, to differentiate themselves both as you can buy their robotic products and have a capital expenditure, or you can do robots as a service and kind of dip your toe in the water and see if it's right for you.
So the other thing that I saw in Path Robotics is their focus on like a specific set of products. So they know the problem they're trying to solve, and it's with big equipment. It's ships, it's construction equipment, utility poles, big things that they're working on. It's very precise, but it's not, tiny products. They're using it on a scale that's so large. So they know that space, and they know that that's where they're playing.
Yeah, I think that's really smart.
I think the other piece is positioning themselves as a solution to the welder shortage in America right now. I think there's something like 400,000 welder shortage right now. So being a company that can help solve that problem is a great positioning for them. I think one of the marketing programs that I noticed just looking through their content was the use of video. I think they do a really good job. I mean, again, you talked about it in the physical world. So this is a physical product that you can actually see. It's not a digital asset or a concept. It's a real product that you can see. So the use of video in the movement of the robotics, in the brightness of the welding arc, all these things really make it come to life in a way that really makes it real.
One thing I noticed is that they aren't leveraging a lot of their own social media channels, which probably makes sense because their customer niche is so specific, but they are using a lot of influencer marketing. Not influencers like people think of, but influencers within their industry. So for example, American Welding Society came out to their shop and got a full tour in exactly how everything works, what do the welds look like, and that gives them a lot of credibility. So they can use these other industry influencers for them as their social proof. Their VP Joe said that their biggest competitor is disbelief. So that video shows like actual proof within the market. And then the other thing they're leveraging is press releases. So they're not talking about themselves, they're letting other people and they're letting their partnership speak for them, which helps them overcome that disbelief. Again, it's a social proof, and one of their most high profile recent press releases was about HII, which is one of the biggest shipbuilders and has a lot of Department of Defense contracts. And that just gives them a lot of credibility in the space and helps with that disbelief problem.
Yeah, the other thing I saw on their website was a couple of case studies. And I think the case studies going hand in hand with the video proof, really showing that value to their customers.
They really communicate their value by being very specific and clear on the problem they're solving. They're not solving the problem of welds. They're solving the problem of needing welders, which is a shortage in the market. The average age of welder is 55 or older, and there's not a lot of new people training into it. The other thing that they are is they're very specific and very clear on the ROI. So they say it's 30% more efficient, 4 times more value. These are numbers a CFO can take to a budget meeting. It's not this kind of nebulous talk that we often hear about AI and cloud services, about automation or things that are difficult to pin down.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Lisa. I think the things that I believe they're doing to effectively communicate that value is not only showing it, but telling it too, and telling in a specific way with that 30% boost in productivity, or the 4x boost in productivity, 30% cost reduction, 97% first pass yield. So I think some of that really proves that value and says it in a way that, like you said, can communicate with the financial people in the customer organization and prove that ROI. So you're not just estimating it or talking about how great it is. You're talking about it in real dollar value.
And I think that their dual mode of being able to work with them, you can either use their robotics hardware or do the robots as a service, really provides an entry-level point that overcomes that objection that people can try before they buy.
I guess what struck me was the amount of video content on the website. So to me, that was a way that they are showing exactly what it is that they're selling. And again, without having humans in the picture, shows that it's autonomous and shows that it runs by itself and can adjust. And, when you weld something, things bend, right? So things move and it adjusts on the fly.
Yeah, and that's one of the way that they're really leveraging press releases to let others tell their story. They have a lot of videos that are companions to those press releases, and they get very specific about what does this mean for the industry and who they're actually working with and who's basically giving them a vote of confidence. Another thing that I noticed on the website is it's very specific. So if you go to their industry page, for example, it lists in bullet points, we work with these industries.
Yeah, I think spelling it out is important. I mean, especially on a website, if that's your main asset going to market, then spelling out and being very specific about what your capabilities are, say what you're working on, and again, stake your claim. It's making your claim on those industries, and here's who we can help. And if you're not in one of these industries, then maybe you're not a right customer for us. The simpler it is, the more effective it is in many cases, especially when you're communicating something that it's a very complex product, very intricate and highly engineered technical product, but using that simplicity to communicate the values. Contact us. This is how you get in touch. This is what we do. And then let's have a conversation. I would say that other B2B businesses could learn to stake their claim, find out the one thing that they're trying to be known for, and then become known for it. I think that's what Path Robotics is doing very well. I think that for other B2B businesses to get on the right path to growth, they stake their claim.
I think one thing Path Robotics does that's really smart is they own the category and named it before their competitors named it. So they're calling it physical AI, which was not a category to begin with. And now they are the thought leaders of the category and they're at the forefront.